Welcome to another edition of the Go Noles podcast. I'm your host, Gregory McCoy. This podcast is by a fan for fans. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I am not an insider. I do not work for a website. The majority of my content comes from me and my opinion. Other information comes from the internet. I'll take the win. I don't like the way we played. I think we played down to the competition. I don't know why all our best receivers were not playing. I assume that in the post-game news conference, Mike Norvell is going to tell us. But the team came out and played hard. I think that, it just shows that we have a lot of talent on this team, that the second team guys can step in and be very effective. So, I'm happy with the win. Big game coming up next week against Miami. I actually want them to win today against NC State, so they can come into next week, full of themselves. I don't want them to be angry if they lose. Like most teams are angry after they lose and just come in, refocus. I don't think they're going to look past NC State because NC State is a quality team. But yeah, all in all, a great win. We clinched a spot in the ACC championship. We haven't done that since 2014. So to get back, and it was just before the season started, I said those are one of the things that's really the first thing you have. Well, I was saying beat LSU, beat Clemson. And a large part of that was get the Clemson albatross from around your neck. And we did that. And once we accomplished that, stay the course, get to the ACC championship. We've clinched the ACC championship spot. And so the Miami game is meaningless in terms of the ACC, but is the world in terms of what we want to do, where we want to go for the rest of the season. And I just hope that the boys can stay focused and go ahead and get this win next week. I didn't watch the Clemson Notre Dame game, but you guys are celebrating like it's a national championship. I understand it's been an emotional week at Clemson, and I don't like Dabo, the head coach. Dabo, like the man, I love him. Okay? And I understand that he, talking to that guy on his call-in show, he got a little emotional. But again, after this Notre Dame game, you and I'll even go back to the loss against Ohio State in the playoff game where you said it was going to be the roaring 20s. At that time it looked like it was going to be the roaring 20s. You had Trevor Lawrence and you had all that talent, and it was like, okay. But your unwillingness to adapt to the landscape of college football has put your team in this current position. Now, you may be able to go out and get high school talent and get back. And if you do, that'd be awesome. But my thing is this. After your post-game interview, you said if Clemson is a stock, you better invest in it, or whatever you said. You're setting yourself up. Just goddamn, keep your mouth shut and go out there and just grind. You setting yourself up for failure again. But, at the end of the day, I don't care. But I love, giving some noogies to our rivals, mess with them a little bit. So the whatever Clemson goes through, whatever, who cares? Florida State, man. we're back in the ACC championship. I don't know how to phrase it. It just feels like we're always supposed to be there. That's what it feels like. So, but, if he just kept those guys out because we got Miami next week, I just felt like that was not a good coaching decision because Pittsburgh played inspired football in that first half. And I think the only reason why you won that game is because you have better talent. I don't I don't know. I can't really understand why I don't really understand why coaches do what they do in terms of personnel. And if your receivers are healthy, if your best players are healthy and you choose not to play them, I guess that's why I'm sitting here on the couch recording a podcast and they're coaching. Because to me, I want to dominate in every game. I'm not going to be saving players for the next game and doing all that nonsense. But again, that's why I'm here, sitting here, and he's on the field coaching. Because I guess he can make better decisions than I can, which is obvious. He got the job and I don't. But I just really hope that, as we get into these bigger games, that we just make better personnel and coaching decisions. It's looking more and more like you're going to be playing Louisville in the ACC championship, and they are a quality team. Let's not mince words here. They are a quality, very good, talented team. And let me tell you, them guys play hard, man. They not gonna come out there playing with Florida State. That's a team that is just gonna try to, take it to you from the opening, seconds of the game. And if you're not ready for it, you could find yourself in a, 3 touchdown hole, in the first quarter of the game. So I really want to see the intensity level, focus, motivation, intensity when you come out against Miami next week. That's what I really want to see. I just want to see how attention to detail we are, how tenacious we are, how focused we are, how motivated we are. It's a rivalry game, so I just really expect all those categories that I just named to be off the charts. None of that should be in question when it comes to, a rivalry. Especially a rivalry like Miami and Florida State. It's one of the best college football rivalries in the country. So it didn't look like we were looking ahead to Miami in this game. For whatever reason, he kept the starting receivers out. Whatever. I'm just glad that we get to go into next week's game pretty much healthy, and hopefully we're going to get the win. So I hope you enjoyed this instant reaction. Thank you for listening. Podcast available on YouTube and all podcast platforms. As always, go Noles.